Hello everyone, I'm Den Haring. Welcome back to my channel, Fish Den 365. Today we're going to do a bait review on the Lucky Craft square bill crankbait. It's all about the square bill today. I like fishing square bill crankbaits, and Lucky Craft is one of my favorites. We're going to tell you why right now. How about that, huh? So the Lucky Craft square bill, what makes it special? What makes it different? What makes it stand out among square bill crankbaits? That's the question for today. There's a ton of square bill crankbaits out there on the market. Most of them, like this one and like this one, have rattles. Hopefully you can hear that. That's one of the things that's a little different about the square bill that the Lucky Craft makes. It doesn't have any rattles. It's quiet. And in the lakes that I fish, which are mostly quite pressured, I'd much rather fish a quiet square bill. In fact, I always start with a quiet one. The time when I'll fish a square bill that has rattles is in the beginning of the year, after a winter where there's no fishing really going on, or hardly any. And so now it's early spring, and a lot of times the water, we get a lot of rain in early spring, the water could be off color. That's the time when I would fish a square bill with a rattle. But the rest of the year, I'd rather not, because most of the lakes that I fish, I just do better, I feel, with the ones without a rattle, and they just seem to work better for me, and it's a confidence thing. I'm not saying it does work better. I don't know for sure. I haven't done the kind of experimentation that would prove it to myself. It's just a gut feel, and it's what I have confidence in. So that's one of the things that set the Lucky Craft apart. Now you can get a lot of the other square bills out there without rattles. Strike King makes them. Here's a Strike King square bill, no rattle in this one. Here's a Storm Arushi. Here's a Storm Arushi square bill, no rattle in this one either. But back to the Lucky Craft square bill, and one of the other reasons why I really like this is they come with fantastic paint jobs. Just look at these paint jobs, especially the bluegill patterns that they have. They have so many great bluegill patterns, but they're shad patterns, they got perch patterns. There's a myriad of colors options for the Lucky Crafts as well. A ton of colors that you can choose from, and all of them look great. The paint jobs are really realistic on all of them. It's another reason why I really like the Lucky Craft. The other thing about the Lucky Craft crankbait is that it was meant to fish like balsa, like wood. It's a very high floater, so when you reel this down and stop, it immediately floats back up. And that could be very beneficial when you're fishing heavy cover, especially wood. You could be fishing lay down trees, this thing hits a branch, you stop, and then it floats back up a little bit. It floats backwards a little bit and upwards. So you can come through that wood, you can come through those branches and retrieve the bait right through some of the heavy cover. It's also very good in weeds. Most square bills are, and the Lucky Craft crankbait is no different. It comes through weeds quite well. It goes down and you can get it into the weeds, and then you can just pop that rod and just tear it out, and it's oftentimes when you'll get bit on these square bill crankbaits. They come with good quality hooks, but I always change them. I always put the Gamakatsu EWGs on there. I just have a lot of confidence in that hook that has that slight inward bend of the hooks, and it just seems for me to grab onto the fish better. Now, as far as sizes go, they have a 2.5. They've got a 1.5. You can see the difference in these. And then they also have, I believe, a 0.7 size, a smaller size than this yet. So even for smaller applications, probably good for very shallow water applications. When largemouth are finicky or when they're eating small fry, it's probably also a good bait for crappies and some of those types of fish as well. I don't know if you can see this, but you can see this one is one I've used hard over the years here, because you can see the hooks have actually wiped some of the paint off, and there's a lot of scratches on the back from the fish biting this bait. This is one of my go-tos, and it's one of my go-to colors. It just catches a heck of a lot of fish, especially where there's bluegill, or if there's a bluegill bite going on. And so this is a bait that'll work for me from early spring. You can throw it right through summer, and you can throw it right through late fall. It catches fish as long as they're within the depth range that these things go, which is quite shallow, you can catch fish on these baits. They are very, very effective at catching fish. One of my favorite ways of fishing it is with an erratic retrieve. I throw the bait out there and I'll reel it down and then stop and go, reel real fast, stop, go, reel, stop, reel, stop. And what's happening is that bait's going down and it goes back up a little bit, it goes down, and it just looks like it's injured, and it hunts a little bit. It goes off center and comes back. And by reeling it very erratically like that, you get much more vicious strikes, you get more reaction strikes, and you get a lot of fish that way. Now, that's how I always start out fishing the bait. Some time ago, I was watching a video, and I don't remember if it was Bobby Lane or Chris Lane. It was one of the two. It might have been Bobby. And they were fishing a square bill crankbait, and I was shocked to hear him describe how he fishes it. He throws it out there and reels it back just real steady. And he said it was real important just to throw it and reel it back with a steady retrieve. Now, I've listened to a lot of professional fishermen talk about how to fish a square bill crankbait, and I've never heard any of them say that. They always say use an erratic retrieve, bounce it off the bottom, hit it off different things, and if you can't do that, then it's real important to make your own erratic retrieve so it fishes erratically. And here's one of the Lane brothers saying, just reel it in straight in. So there's got to be something to that as well, and there's probably a time to fish it that way. So if you're fishing it erratically like the way I always start, and that's not working, before you put it down, try a steady retrieve and see what that does. I have a feeling there are certain days when that retrieve can really kill them. And it may have to do when the water's a little colder or when the fish are a little more sluggish. But I'll be trying that a little bit more in the future and experimenting with it, and I'll, depending on how I do, I'll report back to you on how that's working. But I always, when I'm fishing crankbaits, or any crankbait for that matter, I always start out with that erratic retrieve. I just feel it's more likely to get me more bites. The price range for the square bill is about $7, $7 or $8, depending on where you get it and what size you're buying. It's not a terrible price, especially for the quality of the bait you're getting. It's a good quality bait. It catches fish. It comes through cover very well. So you can't go too wrong with picking one of these up. But if you've never fished with a square bill before and you want to give it a try, this Lucky Craft is one of the ones you may want to try first, because the paint jobs, like I said, are great. It runs true right out of the box. I've never had to really make any adjustments on these baits that I can recall, like fine tune them. That's something that's easy to do if they don't run straight, but usually they run straight right out of the package, and so you can't go wrong fishing the Lucky Craft square bill. Well, that's my review of the square bill crankbait, the Lucky Craft square bill. I hope if you fished this crankbait and you've had success, please comment and let me know. If you fished this thing and you don't like it or haven't had success, I'd like to know that as well. And if you haven't fished it and you want to take up some square bill crankbait fishing, I recommend taking this bait out and giving it a try. I think you'll like what it can do. Well, if you like this video, please give me the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. When you do hit that bell, you'll get a notification that way for when the next video is coming out. I hope to get out on the water soon. My health has been a bit of a problem lately, but we're getting better slowly, and so I hope to get out there real soon and get some footage from the water for you. Remember, we're certified Bassified, and as always, may God bless your fishing endeavors.